here at the Downstream conference with James Munro, General Manager of Mercury Energy, Mighty River Power's retail arm, gas and electricity, one of the larger retailers in the country. And James, you're about to step onto a leaders panel for electricity and gas retailing. I wonder if you could tell me a little bit about what we can expect from particular technologies in the retail space.
Yeah, it's a hard question to answer. The reality is nobody really knows. I think the next 10 years are going to be all about data. And if we look at what other service industries have done, banking, telecommunications over the last 20 years with the use of mass transaction data around their customer bases and how they've improved their customer offerings, proliferated their offerings and segmented for relevance to customer groups, so become more relevant to individual groups of customers. That's a model for what I believe will happen in energy retail. What exactly that means in terms of what products and how, nobody really knows at this stage. There's a lot of experimentation going on in that space.
Okay, I mean, following from that, can you tell me what Mercury's been doing in this space?
Sure, yeah. We've run now 2.5, I'll call it, residential time of use trials off the back of our smart meter deployment and in fact off the back of another smart meter deployment. And the reason we continue to run trials, each of those teaches us a few things, and we increment the product offering and move forward with customers. We're trying to get to a point where customers actually actively want what we're offering them. You're not in the world anymore where you can just tell the customer, here, this is it, take it or leave it. You have to actually find a way to connect with them. So that's one example. Second example is our smart meter-based prepaid system, Glowbug. It's been around for a few years now. It's in its second iteration. It's stable. It's wonderful. We very much want to expand it out into the rest of the country, but we have to follow smart meter deployments. 15% of the UK market is on prepaid, and there is a real need for it in this country, both socially and commercially, and we see that as a real advantage. Then beyond that, we start to talk about things like aberrant usage alert, comparative energy data. What do I look like compared to other homes that look like me? Am I good or bad on energy, and so on. That's probably the first phase of it. Remembering there's been a whole platform of industry change of smart meters around revenue assurance, cost out or change, and moving away from the manual reading into automated reading. Beyond that, and I know this is a very long answer,
sure.
We move into other new technologies, right? So we're creating a database. The question is, what other new technologies are going to come along, like photovoltaics, like electric vehicles, like home storage, like home area network, that's going to make use of that data relevant to customers.
Okay. I mean, you're talking about things sort of evolving, not changing perhaps overnight, but from those trials that you've had and from Glowbug, which, as you say, has been out there for a while, I mean, these things are all about customer interaction and changing the way I think people, households think about their energy use. What's the response been like?
Yeah, I think we're still working that out. On residential time of use, we think there's a decent segment of the market that is actually interested in it. It's not 1%, neither is it 50%, who will engage with time of use style pricing and look to adapt their energy consumption accordingly. On Glowbug, the response has been, I think, very, very positive, because traditional prepay is kiosk based, and there's only a few kiosks in town, and maybe they're broken or out of order, and it's also often real time in terms of the credit. So it's 8 o'clock at night, it's raining, and I've got to go 3k across town to a kiosk so I can top up. Glowbug, you can top up most dairies, gas stations, a lot of retail outlets, 24/7. It has fixed disconnection time. You can get your balance on the top up, on the receipt at top up. You can get it via text message. You can get it online. It's now a much more convenient and happening proposition for a challenged segment of the customer base. So those are good examples of how that data is making product more relevant. But the bottom line is customers don't care. They don't care about data. I don't care about data. You don't care about it. They don't care how complex the industry is that we sit across the top of. They just want it simple. And that's the challenge, is to take all of this promise that's held out by some of these new technologies and the use of data and turn it into something that is easy, intuitive and engaging for the customer. If you don't do that, you're wasting your time.
and different approaches being taken by different retailers.
Yeah, although there's very much a common thread through that. I think. I see different retailers providing half-hourly data, 24-hour consumption. I see the Lines Company doing that now in their network. I see others doing high usage alerts. I see us trying residential time of use, and I see others experimenting with energy statements. To try and compare peer groups. So we're all thinking the same thoughts, and if you look offshore, you'll see everyone's thinking same thoughts as well. There's no magic to it, and it is evolution, not revolution.
Sure. Well, on that note, James, thanks very much for your time.